Shortly, the Chancellor, Honourable Michael Egan AO, and the academic procession will enter the graduation hall. When they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be performed, and we invite you to join in the singing of the National Anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important to our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camps were smaller and the clan groups abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these are not primitive societies, these are ancient cultures. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no jails, no rents, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources which were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life, and for the longest time. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us, and we have many challenges today. But we're a clever people, and I believe there is still much magic in the world. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your lives. Life is normally good, and we are naturally a happy people. Share your gifts with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far, and I'm confident that together we can put together a world and a future that we can be proud of, and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first I want to thank all of you for coming. A graduation ceremony is an important celebration of achievement, the achievements of our graduands and of course also the achievement of the university. So it's very good that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you are. I also want to especially thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they're here because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of today's graduands. And their presence is also good for us, because every celebration is enhanced by the presence of children. Now, unless children have changed enormously since I was a child, few of them will be able to stay quiet or still for the duration of a graduation ceremony, especially the little ones. And I don't expect them to, I don't want them to, and I don't want parents to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. And if there are any little babies here, I haven't actually heard one cry, but generally there are, and they're allowed to cry too. They can wail their hearts out. We've discovered from long experience that if a baby wails through a graduation ceremony, they're back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So it's to be encouraged, not discouraged. Now, the most important thing today is that our graduands have a great day. But you will only enjoy the day if you relax. And most of you look relaxed actually, but there's one or two people that look so nervous that you think you're about to go into the exam room rather than collect a degree. So don't be nervous. There's absolutely nothing to worry about today. Nothing can go wrong. Well, that's not quite true. Sometimes people come up here and trip. That's okay. That's why all these people are here. They're to pick you up and send you on your way. So just sit back and enjoy the day because you deserve to. You deserve to take great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to congratulate all of you who are here today as the guests of our graduands. The very fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the most important days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another service for you to perform for our newest graduates as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing or shy to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Macquarie obviously is not one of them. We're relatively a very young university. We celebrated our 50th Jubilee in 2014. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales were taught that Macquarie was a great builder, and he was. But his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the British authorities, I might add, of an egalitarian society, because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And that is a legacy that here at Macquarie we will always aim to maintain and honour. After our first 50 years, we now have more than 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're now ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We have pioneered, and we continue to pioneer, learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. We're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research with world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And by the way, that's not just an idle boast. I'm sure that at some stage, almost everyone in this room makes use of Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi was developed not that long ago, and not at Harvard University or Oxford University or Sydney University or the Australian National University. No, Wi-Fi was developed by Macquarie University scientists working in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO. So that's something we're very proud of. And the research that is currently underway at Macquarie is no less significant. I'm sure all of you will be aware of the very recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. Now, the disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neurone disease. And I'm very proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. In fact, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. And believe it or not, some of our researchers are even working on an innovation that will prevent shark attacks on surfers, something I think all those young people who ride their surfboards up and down the east coast of Australia will be very appreciative of. In fact, we have countless research projects underway, all of which have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We're also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including our Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. But we have a lot more to do to make sure that all of our facilities are fit for purpose. And that's why when you arrived today, you may have thought for a moment that you were visiting a war zone. The big hole in the ground outside, just behind me, is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as an on-campus student accommodation. And I'm pleased to say too, it will also house a new graduation venue, which will be air-conditioned. I'm very much looking forward to that. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission, and that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Well, now, graduates and ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Mr. Luke Austin. Luke has been the Chief Financial Officer at Huawei's local subsidiary since November 2011. Huawei is a leading private Chinese technology company with annual revenue of $92 billion US and more than 170,000 staff. Prior to joining Huawei, Luke spent most of his career with IBM and Lenovo, including some time living and working offshore and in various roles that covered Australia and New Zealand, Japan and the Asia-Pacific region. Luke started his career in Chartered Accounting at Arthur Andersen. He's got a Bachelor of Economics from Macquarie University and is an MBA from the Australian Graduate School of Management. I now invite Luke to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Luke Austin.
Hello, graduates. Let me firstly acknowledge the Chancellor, members of faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduands, and their families and friends. As an alumnus of Macquarie University, it is a great honour and privileged to be speaking to you today on this important occasion. I won't bore you with my own personal stories, but I can tell you that I look back on my time at Macquarie, which was a very long time ago, very fondly. And I do feel that I learned a great deal, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And sitting where you are now, I do recall feeling that my only priority was to pick up my degree, and then I'm out of here, celebrating with family and friends. And it's not until you look back after a few years that you start to appreciate the dimensions of your life at Macquarie University. Today, all the graduates should, of course, be feeling very proud of your achievement. You've done a lot of hard work. You need to allow yourself to feel good about what you've achieved. Not only have you demonstrated intelligence and your ability to acquire knowledge and skills, learning how to learn, but more importantly, you've shown resilience and perseverance over a number of years to see your degree through to the end. Therefore, when Macquarie graduates, I think I'm boring one of our younger members, therefore Macquarie graduates are considered, when they're considered for employment, the potential employer will know at the very least that they have the required knowledge and tenacity to do the job. That's very, very important. It's a very solid foundation for your future life and career. However, there are other crucial areas where you now need to continue to build on the foundation set during your time at Macquarie. Let me give you a couple of examples. First one is collaboration. Your university work in many cases involved collaboration with fellow students. That skill needs to be deepened as you commence your working life. Those graduates who are able to collaborate across cultural lines, across seniority, across organisational boundaries, and in particular with individuals who have conflicting interests and varying attitudes. Those graduates will add particular value to their organisations beyond that of their peers. It's been accepted wisdom for many years now that diverse teams are more effective than homogenous teams. And while still talking about collaboration, please remember the value and remember to value and nurture your current network. Right, as a graduate and as an undergraduate, often it's easy to ignore the value of building a network or treat it as a work item that's to be addressed a long time in the future. But you should look for opportunities to communicate with your fellow graduates. Even help them in coming years. And this may involve something as simple as sending a message on the anniversary of this graduation ceremony. And please don't view your network as something you're required to build and something you extract value from. Instead, you should view your network as part of life, as having occasional or deep relationships with smart, interesting people, and view as an opportunity to help those people in your network. Right? If you have a healthy network, then it will make your life more fulfilling. But the trick is to make sure your communication with your classmates is sporadic but not non-existent. The other item is empathy. This may seem like a strange skill for graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics, but it is becoming increasingly important in today's world of digital disruption and automation. The most obvious application of empathy in a business context is having a deep understanding of the desires and pain points of your customers. The starting point may be on complex real-time data analytics of customer buying behaviour, an area, by the way, in which finance accounting skills are very useful, as you know. But it's the ability to put yourself in the shoes of the customer and apply judgment and intuition to interpreting their situation that really is the most important. This ability to be empathetic can also extend beyond customers to other stakeholders, including staff, executives, suppliers, and even regulators. And remember that the relevant stakeholder in some cases may neither be deserving nor likeable, but you should still forge ahead in understanding and satisfying their needs and putting yourself in their shoes. So collaboration, including networking and empathy, are two examples of skill sets that you should be further developing as you commence your working life post-graduation. However, even more important than these skills is your attitude. We're all familiar with Peter Drucker's famous maxim that culture eats strategy for breakfast, and the reality is that the creation of a productive culture is a top priority in most successful organisations, and graduate employees are required to demonstrate an attitude that will contribute to that culture in a positive way. My last quote's from Jeff Bezos from Amazon, who requests that his staff be obsessed with what the customer wants, which ties in with the previous point on empathy. But more importantly, he asks that they lead with heart, intuition, curiosity, guts, and taste. I'd probably add flexibility and patience to that list. This is where attitude and culture play an important role. But they can be difficult to work on as they really are based on experience rather than textbooks or business journals. My recommendation is that in addition to being aware of the need to adopt the right attitude, including a strong work ethic, of course, you should seek out mentors and role models, both within and outside your organisation, who can guide and coach you. Think of it as building your own personal board of directors who advise you as you move through your working life. And the good thing is they don't need to know they're on the board. Just use a variety of mentors to seek advice as you move through your career. So once again, congratulations on your graduation day. You should feel justifiably proud and should take time to celebrate with friends and family. Then, dust yourself off, turn your focus to your working life and further building your capability in areas that are becoming increasingly important in today's business world, such as empathy and collaboration. Remember, your journey ahead will not be a straight road. It will have some sharp turns and some steep hills, many of them unexpected. Your time at Macquarie should undoubtedly equip you well for that journey. Thank you again for the privilege of speaking today.
Well, thank you very much, Luke. It's often said that the best advice is simple advice, and Luke gave some very simple but really important advice. Collaborate, in other words, work together, and always put yourself in the other's shoes. And also, I think it's important that you do maintain the friendships and the acquaintances that you've made at university, because they will stand you in good stead for the rest of your life. When you reach the decrepit old age that I've reached, it's good to be able to look back and know that you're still in touch with people you went to school with or university with or got to know early in your life. They're often your best friends. You don't have to explain yourself to them. You understand them, they understand you. They're great sounding boards and they give you support when you need it. So keep in touch with one another and keep in touch with Macquarie University. I think Luke deserves another great round of applause. I almost forgot. The next item on the agenda is the reason we're here, and that's the conferring of your degrees. Now, I think I said at the outset you've got nothing to worry about, but it's the one part of the ceremony that concerns me a little bit, because I was told many years ago by one of Australia's most eminent legal minds that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not entitled to receive it, it was very, very difficult for me to take it back. So I have to make absolutely sure that every single one of you is eligible today, and I have to make sure that none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment, and that none of you ever missed a class. I'll ask the registrar for all of those assurances. Gail. Some of them are quite worried.
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
That's you. Well, graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics and are now call upon Professor Leonie Tickle, Interim Associate Dean, Learning and Teaching of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates. Professor Tickle.
Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. The Faculty of Business and Economics is the largest faculty at Macquarie University and one of the largest in Australia. We are an applied, engaged and global business school. Our role is to create knowledge through applied research in the areas of marketing, management, finance, economics, actuarial studies and business analytics and accounting. Working with our academic and corporate partners, students and alumni, we create and share research that addresses business and societal challenges. Our programs are innovative and include engagement with industry as well as the development of employability skills. The skills developed are in demand globally. Our programs are recognised and accredited by key industry bodies, and we enjoy a strong reputation amongst the business and professional communities. Our graduates have starting salaries well above the average for all Australian business schools. These graduates have the skills, knowledge and purpose to make a positive contribution to their families, to their communities and to the world. Chancellor, I'm proud to present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Taiba Ahmed. Michael Amoako. Nicholas Avramidis. Hisham Baba Alvi. Georgia Maria Bailey. Bhavana Balkata Molakrishna. Chi Chern Bao. Amana Singh Bulla. Tanya Janelle Blower. Luke Breitenbach. Christian Bryan. Tiffany Brown. Jingxiang Tao. Zhang Wanjie. Joel Che. Chui Chi Chen. Sher Chen. Ting Ting Chen. Yi Feng Chen. Sui Chi Cheng. King Ting Chow. Sin Ying Serena Chow. Scott Cole. Justin Dingley. Sarah Doe. Rowan Drummond. Sindre Fossan. Philippa Helen Margaret Fredrickson. Dominic Fusca. Alexandra Gallo. Peng Chen Gao. Emily Goodman. Karen Han. Ya Yu Hao. Geordie Harrison. Patrick John Harris. Yi Han He. Kashmin Gayatra Hiramburagama. Ting Hung. Xiao Qing Huang. Jiahui Jiang. Yue Jiang. Christopher J. Kelly. Ju Kiang Kim. Georgina King. Vaishnavi Kokarala. Tung Wa Lai. Ho Wan Lee. Mun Sup Lee. Chiang Lee. Lung Chang Lee. Sir Yuan Lee. Tian Lang Yang Lee. Wan Lee. Xiao Yi Lee. Young Lee. Georgia Liang. Yu Ying Liang. Lindy Lim. Jennifer Wei Lin. Meredith Jean Lindsay. Hang Liu. Yik Ho Lui. Tian Xing Luo. Jia Hao Ma. Hamish George McLeod. Jia Hao Mei. Nicole Manassian. Viraj Modi. Nicole Louise Moffat. Peter Hu Duan Ngo. Jack Nichols. Yanan Nyo. Audrey Louise Pangilinan. Yu Pei. Andre Pakasa. Perday Po. Lin Ji Piao. Dilipan Pius. Dimitri Prabowo. Xiao Bei Qian. Syed Nassif Rehan. Zhegang Ren. Mohammed Salman. Ben Shutima. Shin Shan. Jacob Thomas Joseph Shimon. Adira Subawa. Hideyuki Tadadi. Jeanette Tanasha. Zhexiang Tang. Shuo Tian. Madeline Claire Jayadi. Julita Ulk. Sella Veronica. Trang Mim Vo. Jessica Vung. Chi Wang. Qian Wang. Bilal Wawa. Nguyen Sin Wen. Elizabeth White. Abraham Wijaya. Irene Ka-Kay Wong. Rosanna Hoi Ki Wong. Jo Ying Wu. Yue Xiao. Shu Ran Xie. Ya Qian Xue. Peter Yiannopoulos. Jin Tao Yao. Nan Yao. Bo Hyuk Yung. Hai Tao Yu. Ya Lan Yuan. Xu Jun Yue. Wakas Zafar. Ke Zhang. Lu Yao Zhang. Rui Hua Zhang. Yuan Hao Zhao. Jenny Zheng. Yue Zheng. Shengliang Zhou. Zhe Yi Zhou. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting Professional with the degree of Master of Commerce. Rushali Guardian Carvalho. Jia Rung Chen. Pei Chi Cheng. Lin Cheng Guan Duan. Jing Yu Han. Chen Shi Li. Jia Tong Lin. Bin Feng Li. Austin Pinto. Ricky Rampuria. Joselle Marie Reyes. Shuting Wang. Yujian Wang. Yujie Zhang. Yun Zhou. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce. Mohammed Hamas Mata Almazaina Almeiri. Sanjay Chandak. Jia Cheng Chen. Bradley Ronald Fries. Xue Hui Peng. Melissa Tabanag. Marlene Dora Agustina Tambanan. Raisa Taslim. John Wang. Harrison Webb. Ting Ting Zhao. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Arika Ataningsi, for a thesis entitled Religiosity and Managers' Attitudes to Offering a Financial Incentive, Moderating and Mediating Roles of Ethical Climate. Rung Ching Bao for a thesis entitled Voluntary Greenhouse Gas Emissions Reporting in Australia, a Framework for Analysis. Batul Tawfiq Hassan for a thesis entitled Impact of Gender and Culture on Audit Judgments. Eddie Maya Putra Sitepu for a thesis entitled How Does the Interactive Use of Budgets Affect Employees' Role Clarity and Creativity? I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Yi Ke Ding, for a thesis entitled Memory Biases and Impression Management, the Influence of Textual Salience, Mood and Recall Order on Accounting Judgments. Dr. Lu Jiao for a thesis entitled The Effect of Multidimensional Exploratory Search on Firm Performance. Dr. Agus Freddy Maradona for a thesis entitled Challenges in the Convergence of International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, a comparative study of Indonesia and Australia. Dr. Benadia Nugrahini for a thesis entitled International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, Convergence in Indonesia, Contextual Factors and Fair Value Implementation. Dr. Zhuo Ru Zheng, who has been awarded the Vice-Chancellor's Commendation for a thesis entitled The The influence of personality, ethical climate, and social desirability response bias on Chinese internal auditors' whistleblowing judgments. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Chancellor, I call on Dr. Auguste Freddie Maradona, who has graduated today with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Maradona.
Chancellor, distinguished members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. It's a great honor and privilege for me to speak on behalf of the graduating class. I'd like to start by extending sincere congratulations to my fellow graduates for what you have accomplished at Macquarie University. You and your families should be proud. Completing a university degree is not easy. It requires intelligence, perseverance, commitment, and of course, years of hard work. In my experience, that hard work included queuing outside the library to secure the best spots during exam periods, trying not to fall asleep on campus, or, as a research student, struggling to stop procrastinating and get back to my thesis. To my fellow graduates, as we are now holding our degree certificates on our hands, let's take some time to reflect upon our long journeys at Macquarie. As for me, I came here as an international student in January 2013, which means it took me about 5 years from the day I enrolled in my first course to the day I graduated. To put that into perspective, during that 5-year period, Australia had 4 different prime ministers, and my daughter turned from a little baby into a school kid. Looking back on my years at Macquarie, I realized that my journey has been both challenging and inspiring. It was challenging because I had to adapt to new social and academic cultures, to meet the expectations of demanding research supervisors, and to cope with rejection of my papers by academic journals. Despite all that, I found Macquarie truly inspiring because it was here that I became an independent learner and began to think critically, not to take any ideas for granted, to innovate, and to understand that while knowledge comes from learning, wisdom comes from living. Studying at Macquarie also gave me opportunities to meet people from many countries, to forge lifelong friendship with them, and to realize that we live in a very small world. Although every student has unique stories, I'm sure all of today's graduates have found their experiences at this university as inspiring as I did. Therefore, on behalf of the graduates, I'd like to thank Macquarie University for providing a quality and non-discriminatory education. I also extend my gratefulness to the outstanding faculty members whom I learned from and worked collaboratively with for the last few years, especially my supervisors, Associate Professor Parmochan and Professor Lon Cummings. Today, we are joined in this hall by proud family and friends, and I urge the graduates to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has contributed to their success. I'm very lucky to have my wife and daughter, parents, siblings, and extended family, all of whom have supported my studies. Also, I only made it through the challenges of university life because of the many friends I have made at Macquarie. These friends were always there for me when I hit the wall. I complained to them about the toughness of my research and my supervisors as they complained to me. So I believe that none of us would be here today if it were not for our friends and family. As we are now ready to leave this university, let's keep in mind that completing our studies is not the end of our journeys. Instead, it marks the beginning of new journeys that will take us into the outside world. We are well aware that the world as we know it is changing dramatically,
bringing about unprecedented economic, social, environmental, and cultural impacts, and there is little or no chance of going back. The world needs us. The world needs people who are able and willing to devote time, effort, and energy to ensure that these changes are for the better, creating better lives for the current generation and for those yet to come. As daunting as this changing world may seem, fear not, because the skills and knowledge that you have gained at Macquarie have prepared you well. Let's be optimistic and believe that anything is possible. Thank you.
Well, Agus, congratulations on your speech. Congratulations on your PhD. And you're quite right, the world does need you. Remember that, the world needs you, and all of you can make a difference. Now, I know plagiarism isn't encouraged, but I'm going to plagiarise a few words that Agus used wherever I go. If I think of it, I'll acknowledge it, but I probably won't. So here are the words. Knowledge comes from learning, wisdom comes from living. That's very, very, very true. And you've got a very proud little daughter over there. I'm glad she was here to share this occasion with you. And thank you, by the way, for coming to Australia to study, and thank you for coming to Macquarie. I think he deserves another great round of applause. Well, I mean, that wasn't too bad, was it? That glorious voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer. Now, Angela sings at most of our graduations, and we're very, very fortunate that she does. Occasionally, she can't make it, and you're lucky that she could today, because on the rare occasion when she can't come, I do the singing. I'm sure you'd like to join together in giving Angela another great round of applause. And as you could see, we also have some great musicians here. Over there we have Dr. James Forsyth on the organ. And on the Chinese transverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang Ning. I'd also like to thank our alumni volunteers who come along to our graduations to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And some of them are over here and some are over here. I'm sure you'd like to thank them too. And of course, sitting behind me, the representatives of our academic community. I think they deserve a round of applause too. Well now, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of over 184,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engage with Macquarie throughout your life. And please, graduates, do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study or attend alumni events or use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if you like, just come and enjoy a stroll through our lovely campus or enjoy a picnic down by the lake. Well, now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and the knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, to go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today to celebrate with you. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things. Graduates, would you now please stand? Now I'd like you to place your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And now I want you to turn to face your families and your friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, graduates can turn around now, but don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a few seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will now lead the official party out through the centre aisle, and we will be followed by all of the graduates. And then I will invite all of you to follow us down the centre aisle and out in the procession down to the Macquarie, where I hope you will all join us for some light refreshments. We even have some fairy floss and some ice creams for the children and for people like me. So you're most welcome. Graduates, by the way, would you now please stand and please remain standing until the last graduate has processed out. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.